Is Pokémon Quest for the Nintendo Switch worth your time? Now this free-to-play, free-to-download Nintendo Switch game might be worth your time depending on the type of gamer you are. Why did this game just not do it for me, but why do I think that certain types of people might get some enjoyment out of it? Find out my thoughts in today's video. Welcome to Stuff We Play, home of everything weird and retro, or I guess on occasions like this, none of that at all. But hey, this is Pokemon, that's cool. We're talking about Pokemon Quest today, and what are my thoughts on this? I played it briefly in handheld mode, I did a 1-hour live stream on Twitch, and I've played it a bit since then, and honestly, it just doesn't do it for me. Pokemon Quest is a game where you get to assemble a party of 3 Pokemon, and then go out and, well, quest across an island called Tumblecube Island. Pokemon here look kind of like, I guess, Pixelmon? Is that what it's called? Is that what the kids are playing nowadays? And that's it. Except you aren't even questing. The Pokemon control themselves and auto-lock onto enemies, and you just select attacks. Except there's an auto mode where it just attacks for you, which means all you're doing is just decorating your base camp, brewing stews to attract new Pokemon. Throughout the game, there's also a battery. Once the battery goes down, then you can't go through and adventure through more areas unless you wait or pay some real money to get some PM tickets to accelerate the game. Same goes for soups, or if you really want those expensive decorations, don't want to wait. This sounds like a free-to-play mobile game, which makes sense. It's on the Switch eShop for a free download, and it's coming to mobile phones. Honestly though, I don't think it has any reason to be on the Switch. It plays great with the touchscreen, but if you try to use the Joy-Cons, like, I don't know why, but like, if you use the Joy-Cons, it feels really sluggish for some reason. And it's like, I get this is a game that doesn't have a ton of control, but like, it feels alright. I mean, it's touch controls in a mobile game using the touchscreen, but like, while I was streaming this, and keep in mind, I'm using Intensity Extreme Thunderbolt, so there's no input lag or anything, and even just playing it just by myself after stream, it feels really sluggish using the Joy-Cons, and there are mobile ports of the Switch that use the Joy-Cons well. Look at Beach Buggy Racing, which is a Mario Kart clone that I've talked briefly about before. There's really not much to say here. As you go through, you'll level up, you can attach items, brew stews, get new Pokemon, decorate your camp. That's it. It's a bit shallow, honestly. Granted, if you're a kid or if you have kids and you know, you want something that's very much so, and excuse my language, but a shitter game, you know, a game that you play when you're on the toilet, and this is that game. But then again, you have like Tetris and stuff like that. If you have a Switch with nothing to play on it, hey look, it's a free game. If you really want something mindless, here you go. But the game's so automated, and there's just so little in Pokemon Quest that I was just not drawn into it. And as I said, for a mobile phone game, it's perfectly fine. And if we're talking by the standards of mobile games, it's great. It's a good mobile game, something that you can easily pick up and even have, you know, play while you can't spend time with it. But if you're playing it on the Switch, I'm assuming you're playing on the Switch because the Switch is big. The Switch won't fit in most people's pockets. You're playing it on the Switch because you've set aside time to game. Overall, I know this is going to get me some hate, but I just won't be able to recommend Pokemon Quest to most gamers. Wait for Let's Go. If you have a 3DS, get Sun or Moon or Mystery Dungeon or any of the other spin-offs. If you have a Switch with nothing to play on it, get this. If it looks interesting to you, hey, it's free to download, you know, and the only thing you'll be wasting is your time if you don't like it. Or maybe even just wait off to get on a phone, which I guess that's the way most people will play it. But even if you have a phone, Pokemon Go's on your phone. Pokemon Go is more fun than this, but then again, I actually like Pokemon Go. That's probably another controversial opinion. But I may be beginning to ramble on just a bit. Does Pokemon Quest look interesting to you? Let me know down in the comment section below, and while you're at it, why don't you subscribe to Stuff We Play for more great content like this, or even back us on Patreon if you feel so inclined and all that good stuff. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, stay classy, and I'll see you next time.